This video will discuss the functionality behind RoadEng's Rockfill template component. So in this example project, I have a road and I want to armor along this water course. So I'm going to go to my assign by range, and I can see I have my default template assigned along the length of my road. I'm going to want a different template to account for that armoring. So I'm going to go to my template editor. I'm going to first make a duplicate of this default template. The geometry is correct other than not having that fill slope, and I'll want to use this default template elsewhere for the approach. So copy, paste as new. Give this a unique identifier that makes sense. And then I'm going to go to the E library. So the component I want to use is in the slopes component folder. We'll expand that, and down at the bottom we can see we have this component. Now it's always worthwhile to read the description here. So stack Rockfill, keyed in at toe, add before other components. Can set rock fill height based off a reference feature. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to paste it as new, and we can see right away things aren't right. So the first thing I want to do is I want to adjust the order. So I'm going to shift that order up to the top. It says right here that we want that before other components. And then I'm going to adjust my parameters. So here, my road subgrade width, so how far over this goes, will be set to be 4.3, or sorry, 4.6. So I'm lining up with the edge of my subgrade. And I'll hit OK just so we can look at how this behaves where we're at. So right now, we can see that's going down, and that stacked rock fill is stopping where the fill slope intercepts with the topo surface. And if we go up, we can see that behavior is consistent. Now in this example, we want to armor right down to the toe of that slope. So we want to protect our slope from scour, and we can do that with this template. So with this, we have parameters such as our subgrade width, rock fill slope, which is set at 50%. If I want to change that value, we can. I'm going to keep it at 50. We can add extra width at the toe. So there we can extend that slope out further. Fill slope thickness. So this is measured normal to the slope. If I want it narrower, I can. I'm happy with that 2.5. Key in depth refers to the depth that we're keying in that fill. And the slope refers to our keyed in slope. And then we have our slope excavation of the floor. So if I just look at those standard parameters, I'm going to lose out on the functionality that I want. So I'm going to go turn on my advanced parameters here. And I can see I have my minimum rock fill height. So in this case, if I change this value, and this has to be a negative to go down, we can see that is extending that through that topo surface. And we'll just use this as our example here as we pull around. So this extends a fixed distance, and then that parameter ties to the outside slope. In this case here, I don't actually want a ditch on that side, so I'm going to remove that. So that would be great if I want to tie to that, but in this case, there's going to be other places where that fixed value isn't going to be useful for me. So rather than using a fixed value, I can set that to be based off a reference feature. So to start, I'm going to use a reference feature from my topo surface. So I've got a surveyed line in this case, it's called BL1, and I want to tie to that. So that's that surveyed break line at the bottom, so it's a feature from my survey, and we'll hit OK. We'll apply that template. So from station 0, previous to that my approach is a negative in this case. Whoops. So station 0 onward, we'll apply that Rockfill template, which has that reference feature assigned. So there we are. Now, that reference feature that we've assigned, it works in this case. It's but you may not have a feature to use. So we could have also used an alignment. So if we wanted to use an alignment, we can. We'll go in here, we'll click Add Horizontal Alignment. Just going to use an empty alignment in this case. And this will just be for illustration purposes, but say I want to go deeper than that. We're going to shift this up to the top so it gets calculated first, but we can set another alignment as our reference feature instead of a feature from the train file. So here we could go in here, use the point code we'd like, so center line in this case. Got that set. We'll go out to a location where we're going to intercept that referenced alignment, and now it's pulling the elevation in from the elevation of that horizontal alignment. So in this case, the original is what I wanted. I'd hit cancel and jump out of that. But the concept is demonstrated. If you find this useful, thank you.